everyone. My name is Zeta Ceti. This is Green Rush Revolution. We are here live at MJUnpacked 2024 in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm here with Patrick Rea, Poseidon Ventures. What's up, Patrick?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. 1 year around the sun since the last time. What's going on?
Oh man, it's been quite a year for the cannabis industry. Yeah, no, but it's been good. I think that, you know, a lot of positive things have been happening in the industry. You know, we have Florida on the ballot for adult use.
Yes.
That could be a big deal. And here in New Jersey, the market is really finding its feet. You know, now we have over 100 dispensaries open. It's happening. So like, it's great to be here in Atlantic City at MJUnpacked to like immerse ourselves in this healthy, growing market.
Yes, it's pretty amazing for me too as well, because like New Jersey in 2011, I helped win one of the first 6 alternative treatment center licenses here. And seeing the entire landscape till now, I mean, it's pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, some things happen really fast, other things are happening really slow. I think, you know, the sort of situation in the capital markets is challenging for a lot of operators raising capital in New Jersey, but for investors, you have an incredible choice to find the best investment opportunities at the best terms. And frankly, there's probably no better time to be investing in New Jersey businesses than now. It's really cool.
Yeah, I know the slow out was a little slow too, or the rollout was a little slow at the beginning, but you're saying now it's actually picking up pace.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, and I think that there are entrepreneurs who have licenses and maybe they've secured real estate and they got local approvals and they're ready to start demo and building out their store or their grow or their processing facility.
Right.
But they need capital and they've been looking and searching and you know, so many investors that came in early, they made their investments, maybe they deployed the money they had for this asset class and they're waiting for returns. So those funds or individuals that have capital, you know, they have really great options.
Right. And Poseidon Ventures is really focused on this space here right now.
Yeah,
in terms of New Jersey.
I mean, we're an early stage investment fund, venture capital strategy. We're looking for, in New Jersey, licensed operations, ideally dispensaries where we can deploy $1 million check and get that store open. And if it's in a great location with a team that has experience or they hire on people that have experience, it can be really profitable, and that can benefit the founders and the investors.
So what are the kind of the numbers that you're seeing in terms of profitability in the state of New Jersey right now?
I mean, and every store is different, right?
Yeah, of course,
because,
location.
Yeah, location, and that's really, really important.
Yeah.
So you can see a store doing sort of 10 to low teens net profit margins after taxes, right? And then as they get larger, right, if it becomes like a 15, 20, $30 million store, which does happen, you can be throwing off a lot of cash to yourself as a founder and to the people that back you to get you open. I think, you know, the environment for investing has focused more back onto the good old cash flow.
Right.
You know, it used to be growth at all costs,
right?
And like
That's
big payday, end of the over the rainbow, big pot of gold.
Boom.
Boom.
It's kind of like AI right now. It's like that.
Right, totally. I mean, there was a lot of excitement. I think, you know, we haven't, unfortunately, had the changes on the federal level that we want.
Yes.
So these businesses and some of the cannabis businesses, like dispensaries, some cultivations, they can be very lucrative. And if the investment structure right, it can be a win for everybody.
Right. And you just brought something at the federal level. You know, Patrick, I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think about any type of potential rescheduling. You know, for me, it's seeing where we're at in terms of like how it's a presidential election year, and we're trying to whip votes, and you know, just all these different things that are working towards it. But I would love to hear your thoughts on what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to predict what will happen at the federal. It's sort of like a fool's errand sometimes. It feels like, because I think we've gotten very excited before, and you and I have been in the business for a long time. We've seen the Cole memo come along and FinCEN guidance, and you get really excited, and then you realize, like, when one thing happens in the federal government, there's a lot of different agencies that need to weigh in on that and figure out their position relative to the other agencies that may be the one that you've been focusing on or I've been focusing on. Like, so, you know, even if it's the DEA that we're waiting on a decision for, you know, there's a number of other agencies that are going to have to come up with an opinion or an approach to that change.
Of course.
So I'm really curious with Schedule 3. I hope that the DEA does what they should and give that guidance, and the FDA comes along and the administration and Congress all supports this change. Because frankly, 88% of Americans now want to see adult use legalization or medical marijuana legalization. It's like one of the most popular polling concepts and topics in America.
Well, we had the first sitting president have it in the State of the Union address around that. I mean, it's the first time it's ever happened.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm wondering, the conditions seem ripe for some level of change. Now, like what you were mentioning earlier is about having all these intergovernmental agencies having to move forward with things. I still think the states are going to still play a role.
I agree. I think the direction that we're heading in as a country now is states' rights. Give the option to the states to make their choices. You know as well as I, talk is easy, action is hard, and in DC today, it's hard to get people that are in positions of power to change from no, the position of no, to the position of yes. Because when they shift from, when they leave that, hey, no, or I'm against this, they lose all their power. When they're a no, they can ask for things, demand things. And I think a couple times in the last year, we've seen some of the conversation around safe banking or Schedule 3 sort of develop a bit more in DC, and you start hearing people's demands.
Right.
What do they want to go from no to yes?
Yeah.
And that's progress.
That is progress too, and that progress needs to be made.
Yeah.
Right? And coming back to Poseidon Garden Ventures, I would imagine that if there is some kind of change, right, it would have an absolute positive impact on the investments that you guys are making.
100%. I mean, just think about if IRS Code 280E gets stripped out, and the amount of capital that or profits that flow down to the bottom line, which enables more capital, more investment, and more returns distributions for investors, more better software, media, data.
Yeah.
Just enriches the industry.
It very much enriches it, but it doesn't hold it back and limit it too.
Yeah, but let's be clear. I think if when one door closes, another opens. I mean, I do believe that the federal government will want to levy some sort of tax.
Oh yeah.
On the cannabis. I mean, they just can't go from taking 60, 70% tax on the cannabis industry to zero.
Yeah. I know, right? I mean, they're banking right now, big time.
There's a lot of good money coming into that government.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but again, do you think Poseidon Garden Ventures, let's just say that was to happen. I mean, you guys are well positioned to bring on more capital to deploy.
Oh yeah. I mean, yes, absolutely. We're looking for those stimulating events in the industry, and let's be clear. The lack of movement towards legalization on the federal level has essentially muted the industry's growth and really eliminated a lot of investor interest. Yeah. They want that confidence that the federal government's moving in the right direction or just doing anything to improve the business. And once they move, the federal government, once they start making change, we'll see investors coming back into the industry.
Yeah, and have you seen any slight change since there's been these announcements at all? In terms of investor sentiment?
I mean, if you watch the publicly traded stocks, and that's probably the easiest sort of gauge to view. Whenever something happens, we see them rise up, the publicly traded stocks. And so that's that's an early indicator.
Right.
Yeah.
Just to kind of see where the temperature's going.
Yeah, so when there's announcements about Schedule 3 or safe banking or something else going on you see the stocks go up, and I think that shows us that when there will be action on the federal level, we'll see capital flow back into the industry.
Right. Patrick, is there any exciting investments that you're looking at right now that are just wow, I'm really excited about this?
Well, I mean, we are invested in an operator in Florida called Sunburn, and with the Supreme Court in Florida, approving the ballot initiative.
Yes.
For adult use, that's pretty exciting because they just need 60% of the vote
to
go there. I hope they get it. I think they will pass adult use legalization. That will 2 to 3. Some more aggressive analysts say 4x the current Florida market.
Yeah.
And it'll be really good for that investment. So we're excited.
Do you think they'll separate licenses there in Florida as opposed to having a vertical?
It's a good question. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that want to see that happen. Limited license structures have been, I think, pretty good for the industry. It's easier to manage. Investors and operators. Well, I'm a free markets guy, but in this situation,
economically,
it works. It works a little bit better. You know, you don't have too many licenses, and then it's too much for the state to manage and keep.
Well, Oklahoma was a
of.
perfect example of that.
Great example. Right, it just gets out of control.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Market saturation,
Yeah.
failed investments, failed brands.
Yeah, it's not really good for anybody.
No.
I mean, it's great if you want to have a dispensary that does $2 million a year and you can make that work.
Right.
It's also been good for the illicit market operators who want to grow or process and figure out how to get it to the East Coast. You know?
I've also seen other types of methods that states use. It's not just, okay, we're going to limit the licenses at the state level. We're just going to limit the geographical dispersion based on population density.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen that? Does that work well, or in your opinion?
I think that there's a lot of things that have worked. There's a lot of things that haven't worked. I'd just like to see a state coming online soon that takes all of that in consideration, doesn't say, hey, forget about everything that worked and didn't work. Let's do it our way.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like New York, but we're also excited because we just made an investment into New York.
Oh, nice.
We invested in a company called Platform Cannabis Advisors, and they're helping dispensaries get open in New York City, Long Island, and upstate New York. And there's a lot of people who have licenses and desire, and they need expertise and capital.
At capital, yes.
There's a combination.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So what do you see about the future of Poseidon Garden Ventures, Patrick? What do you think?
Well, you know, we are super active with like investments right now, with documenting investments, getting out term sheets. It feels like the industry is at a moment, especially in the states that we're looking at a lot, New Jersey, where people realize it's now or never. It's never going to be less competitive.
Nah, it's only going to get more.
Their probability of success if they can open sooner increases their probability of success to be successful.
Of course.
You know, and get their return back for their investors. And if the investors make money, they want to invest more. So get that store open, right? Return money to the capital to your investors, and they might want to invest in your processor or help you build a grow. You know, get vertical, or open that second store.
Yeah.
So, you know, get that sort of virtuous cycle of investment and returns going, and I think we'll be cooking with gas.
It's primary retail you guys are investing in.
Yeah, right now we're really focused on that.
And that's starting with after they get their license, and then they're kind of operational.
All the approvals. Yeah, maybe they need it's $1.5 million, $2 million to get open, and they need $1 million. We're right there for them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's really good. Well, Patrick, thanks you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. Patrick Rea, Poseidon Garden Ventures. This is Green Rush Revolution. My name is Zeta. Thank you guys so much.